little bit about our solar and storage program for public buildings. So the goal of this program is to accelerate renewable energy at local government facilities. The objectives are to help you reduce your energy costs and insulate against rising PG&E rates. There is an economic analysis or a summary later on in the deck here touching on that. We want to help you achieve your sustainability goals by getting solar and battery storage at your facilities. And we ourselves have a local solar and storage goal of 20 megawatts by 2025 that this program will help to achieve. We have a first round of this program running already, so we're talking about the second round here. The initial cohort has 15 total sites with 2 megawatts of solar across all of those sites, and the installations for those facilities will be happening in 2023. For round two, we're planning on holding a request for proposals in the first half of 2023, which would result in installations, solar installations in the first half of 2024. Keep going, Laura. Thanks. So a little bit about the comparative economics of solar versus your existing electricity bill. For all of our round one participants, we are showing that they will be able to receive an energy rate that is lower than their current PG&E bill. This is really interesting in that energy rates from PG&E are expected to rise pretty significantly over time. They're expected to climb 18% in 2023, 5% through 2026, whereas the energy that we provide from solar at your facilities would stay flat over time. So not only are we expecting to offer our customers a discount in the first year of their participation in the program, but that discount would increase over time as PG&E rates increase and the solar PPA rate remains the same. We'll talk a little bit about what a PPA is and more dive deeper into the comparative economics in the next slide here, Laura. So here's an example of how much energy, the charges of a facility's energy usage on an annual basis, pre-solar and post-solar. If you look at the bar on the left, you can see that this is an example of one facility participating in the first round of our program. They have about $50,000 in transmission and distribution charges that they pay to PG&E every year. And about $30,000 in energy generation charges that they pay to Peninsula Clean Energy every year. For about an $85,000 total annual electricity bill. We're projecting that for this facility, that would drop to a little over $65,000 in energy costs year one. They would be paying a new PPA payments to Peninsula Clean Energy, but their generation charges and transmission distribution charges would drop significantly, about 80 to 90% for this specific facility. And this facility would be getting a 276 kilowatt solar array. You can see the details on the right. There would be about $23,000 in year one savings. And as I mentioned, those savings go up significantly over time, such that this facility would expect to receive over $1 million in simple savings and also over $1 million in the net present value savings over 20 years, which is quite substantial. Next, Laura. A little bit more about the benefits of our program. So going solar can be beneficial, but we add a lot to make this an easier program for you to participate in. We offer technical assistance. We have a number of DER professionals or local solar energy professionals on the Peninsula Clean Energy team. So we can offer technical expertise and assistance. We also create solar designs ourselves, establish the financial analysis for you to review, offer project development support. We help with the procurement process, making your effort quite lower compared to if you were to do a solar project on your own. And moreover, the third point here is that we're bringing a bunch of agencies together into this procurement to facilitate a group purchase, resulting in economies of scale and reduced total project costs. Another cornerstone of this program is that Peninsula Clean Energy is offering financing. So there's no upfront cost to your agency. We finance the capital costs for the project and offer a power purchase agreement where the facility offtakes just the energy output from the solar array. So there's no upfront cost, and Peninsula Clean Energy is able to utilize our low cost of capital. Further, we ourselves are a not-for-profit government agency, so there is no profit motive on our side. We have a completely transparent process from a financial standpoint. The services are entirely at cost with full visibility to you. So this results in even further reductions to energy charges from the solar. And for the battery portion of the installations, those batteries can offer backup power to facilities that need to operate during power outages. Next, Laura. A little bit more details about the financial structure. As I mentioned, there is no capital outlay by the participating customers. Peninsula Clean Energy provides all the capital required for the installation, construction, operations, and maintenance. As far as energy costs go, the electricity bill drops as I depicted in the previous chart. A new energy charge is then paid to Peninsula Clean Energy for the solar energy produced. And battery storage can further reduce energy charges and reduce the costs associated with closing facilities during a power outage. There are incentives that Peninsula Clean Energy is able to mobilize. Previously, public agencies were not able to mobilize the federal investment tax credit, but since the passing of the Inflation Reduction Act, we are able to capture that tax credit ourselves, even. And we bake that incentive into the PPA price, thus further reducing energy costs. Keep going here. As mentioned, we provide a lot of technical support, including no-cost site assessments. These site assessments would include a site plan for where we would plan to add the solar. We would highlight how much generation the solar is expected to produce. We would offer system diagrams, panel layouts, and provide indicative financials resultant from our expectations on how much solar we plan on installing. Keep going, Laura. Battery storage is a portion. There's a battery storage component to this program as well. The use cases here for battery storage are that it can provide backup power and help reduce energy costs through energy arbitrage. Solar alone cannot provide backup power during a power outage for safety reasons, but solar paired with batteries can provide backup power for critical loads at your facilities. And during multi-day outages, solar can partly recharge the battery to further power critical loads. And then, as mentioned, battery storage can also offer energy shifting. So facilities use less energy during the evening because the battery, which charges from solar during the day, can power the facility at night. And energy charges are highest at night, so this further reduces your energy costs. Next, Laura. A little bit about the program sequence here. I'm not going to speak to all of this. You can kind of see it for yourselves, but throughout the rest of this year, we want to gather information around what facilities you might be interested in evaluating for participation in the program. We would have you sign a non-binding participation agreement to get the ball rolling. In the early parts of 2023, Peninsula Clean Energy would be assessing the facilities that you sent us for technicalities, and we would also be performing financial analyses. We would send you the power purchase agreement, which is the contract for your legal team to review in Q1, and then in Q2, Peninsula Clean Energy would execute the solicitation, give you a final price for the solar and the battery storage. On Q4 of next year, we all would sign agreements together. We would sign a construction agreement with our selected vendor, and installations as part of this program would commence in towards the end of 2023, early 2024. This is more information about what sites are eligible for participation in this program. First of all, the facility must be owned and occupied by your agency, by a public agency. There must be no plans to retire the facility because we're going to install solar on it and we want the solar to last a long time. Shading needs to be minimal at the locations planned for solar. Rooftops, there must be no plans to re-roof the system or re-roof your facility for about 20 years. If you plan to install solar at your carport, then there must be no plans to lease the parking lot or significantly alter the parking lot for 20 years. And battery storage requires about 2 parking spots for the enclosure of with the batteries inside of it. All of this site criteria may be adjusted over time, and based on our Peninsula Clean Energy's own assessment.